gonna get a good place for that microphone right now. I'm gonna just do a quick edit. I have to edit this thing actually because they changed the HUD on me a little. So we're gonna have to make them a little smaller. Let's curse you, Rito. Alright, that'll work. Alright, so hello there guys, this is CD Mangaki here, and today we're going to do a quick video on the SKT versus EDG, or rather EDG versus SKT if we're going blue side, red side. And we're just going to be looking at the early game real fast to talk about the lane swap. I was discussing this with Alejandro Weber, who is thankfully just hosting this for me. He's going to be doing a version of this in other languages. I'm going to be handling the English version, kind of getting to say hi to some of you folks who are followers and fans of his. I've been working with him. I was one of his analysts for KLG when we were preparing for the International Wildcard stage, and Alex is quite, he gives me a lot of support, and I appreciate him for it entirely. So without any further ado, let's go on ahead and just look at why we're talking about this particular lane swap. I'm going to turn the game volume down just a little bit. We're looking at this lane swap because SKT really shows how adaptive they are. They just change their approach very quickly in this scenario, and they're able to make this really cool adaptation to it that sets up Marin with this counterpick Renekton to just completely destroy Amazing J in this matchup and get ahead with the tower lead. I think EDG misplays this lane swap a little bit just because of how they prioritize it. The casters in English talked about why this is, or rather how Edward Gaming misplayed the lane swap, and so we're going to take a look at all these things, kind of break it down for you just to kind of explore it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the game is going to start off with a lot of grouping. SK Telecom, as you see, is showing a lot of members on the top side. EDG is going to forfeit their control there. They're going to leave 1 or 2 wards to watch the invade from SK Telecom. We see in the bottom lane here, Deft and Mako just kind of posturing about, and they're going to be grouping here on this bottom side. Anyway, so EDG have an idea of where SKT are. They saw both Marin and Bangi in the top side. SKT is going to loop around through the Fog of War to the bottom side, kind of just watch for an invade here. Bang still staying on that top side to watch for any action there. Victor's going to check a brush with his Q. Pawn, just doing pawn things in the mid lane, all good. But SKT come on over here and they ward their blue side jungle using looks like Marin's Trinket Ward. I want to say pick Wolf's. No, they use Marin's there, and I believe they use Fakers or Bangies right there. So because SKT is going to be starting from the top side, they're going to go for the lane swap in the top lane to start off the game. They just want to make sure that they start on the strong side, and they want to watch their blue buff and see whether or not Edward Gaming is going to invade. So it's a very safe start from SK Telecom. It's very minimal in terms of the risk it takes, and SKT prepares well, and EDG go for this aggressive blue side still, and SKT spot this out to the ward, so they know, okay, EDG's playing the bottom side of the map. We see that they're going into the jungle. We're going to avoid getting invaded on, and we're not going to be set far behind. So with this, Wolf is already moving out into position to... Is he expending any of his mana right now? No, he's really not. So he's setting up for this gank onto Pawn. So SKT want to go for this quick gank on Pawn, get Faker snowballing ahead on this rise in this matchup, and they come out right here. Now, where this falls apart is Faker is not yet level 2. Pawn got the early wave push advantage, and if Faker had his snare right here, I mean, Pawn would have to burn his flash at the very least. So right now, SKT, you have to consider the time that they've taken. The early minutes of the game are very important in how you spend that. So SKT, after clearing out 2 of their camps on topside, commit 3 members, about a good 20 seconds, into ganking Pawn in the mid lane, and they get nothing for it. There's no flash rune, just a little bit, they just kind of push him away, let Faker get some free damage on him. Meanwhile, EDG is beginning to set up this push in the bottom lane. You can see that Mako isn't roaming right now. He's pushing the wave with Deft to apply the pressure to this bottom tower, and SK Telecom pretty much knows at this point that most likely Clear Love and Amazing J are still in the jungle double jungling. So SKT have to play catch up right now. And so this is really impressive what they do. So they know that EDG is going to be bottom side. And if you watch what their members do, they're going to be coming through this jungle. So they can go take EDG's blue buff. That way they trade buffs and avoid getting 3 buffed. They got the pressure up here. They have their duo up here. And immediately, Bang with the Sivir starts pushing in the lane. Wolf goes up to join him, begins to soak up some lane experience, but also gets the wave to push on in, while Banging and Marin begin to set the sun up. Now, Amazing J is still double juggling with Clear Love, and we don't see them show their faces down here in this bottom lane. EDG playing a bit more of an Eastern style lane swap with a bit of a fast push element in it. Now at 3 minutes 23, Bang and Wolf are hitting on this tower. Banging is going to clear up this jungle while Marin joins the top lane. So they're clearing out these waves and they're giving Marin some of the CS as well as the experience. EDG see this, and in response, because they already don't have their jungle and top laner here, they're just going to let Deft and Mako push on the tower, and they're going to use Amazing J and Clear Love to go take this early dragon, kind of respond to it for that. SKT, on the other hand, playing more of a setup for Marin. Bang and Wolf leave the lane. They're going to go for their recalls right now to go back to the bottom lane. They're going to give the solo tower gold over to Marin, 275 as you just see there, as well as have the lane wave bounce back. Meanwhile, Amazing J is committing to the dragon in the pit with his team. And if you look already here, okay, so we have double the CS. It's only 5 right now, so we can calm down for the moment. But he's already leveled down on Marin, and it's going to become about roughly a level and a half difference between them. So at this point, Marin is getting more of the gold. He's getting more lane experience. He's just getting more from this lane swap scenario than Amazing J is. And this is going to be what puts Amazing J so far behind. And right now, because SK Telecom took this top tower, Amazing J cannot teleport to this minion wave right here that's pushing out away from him, so he can't immediately go get the farm. He has to walk all the way to the lane, while Marin can simply just let this wave push back into them, as you see here on this map, and go back. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, EDG had a back to match Bang's time, and they don't know that Bang is going to be building an Avarice Blade, so, you know, they're expecting a pickaxe, so Kalista has to go back to get the Vampiric Scepter to keep up with Bang in terms of items. He didn't focus down the tower damage, so they let the wave bounce to let it reset so they can approach it. And right now, Amazing J is basically screwed. He's down about a level and a half on Marin. The wave is pushing out away from him in the long lane where he has no tower to work with. And he doesn't have even like a tower gold to help him out in this matchup. So that's why he comes back to lane with only 2 Doran's Blades, whereas Marin is able to get himself a ward so he can keep himself safe from Clear Love, as well as a pair of boots so that he can kite out Amazing J or get onto him. Meanwhile, the bottom lane from EDG shows back up, and SKT have done a great job. Now, Marin is also able to walk back to the lane because it's pushing towards him, and Amazing J doesn't want that to happen, but he has no choice but to do so. And we're going to watch and see what kind of CS lead is actually going to build out of this for Marin in the top lane. So right here, boom, this whole wave up top, I have to point with my mouse, excuse me, is just crashing into Marin. His back timing was beautiful. He was able to absorb the minion waves, go back, pick up the item so that Amazing J doesn't have an item advantage, coming back to the lane, and now he's going to begin soaking up CS, and he's going to get a huge lead in CS because of this. And if you look, all right, there's Amazing J, level 4 now. He had some time with the minions. Marin level 4. Then I think Marin's gonna hit level 5 right about now. I literally didn't time that. That was beautiful. So he has almost a level lead on Amazing J at this point with a counter pick and a 10 CS lead. So it's looking very good for SK Telecom right now. Bang and Wolf are able to keep up their trades in the bottom lane as Banging is going into Clear Love's jungle, putting the wards down so that SK Telecom can track him on this Jarvan pickup. And then let's go ahead and kind of just like fast forward a little bit. We don't need to see this bottom lane trending and keep looking at this top lane. So now Amazing J is still stuck at level 4. Marin's been 5 for a while. There's Amazing J finally hitting level 5. Marin doing a little bit, I mean, he's just slow pushing this wave. He's just letting as many creeps as he can just die to the minions that are pushing into him as he slowly pushes out and soaks up as much as he can from this. And you can see right now at 7 minutes, he has a 20 CS lead and he's up a level on Amazing J. Amazing J can't even approach this wave. He has to wait for Marin to push this in. Clear Love is spending his time on the bottom side. SK Telecom knows he's there, so Marin doesn't even have to put his green ward down. He's just free to go ahead and push this lane. Clearlove's pathing really kind of just like enabling Marin to get away with these antics. Faker able to trade in the mid lane with these vision. You can see right here, safe to go for this gank, safe to go for this trade. Bengi doing a good job of warding here. And then finally, after getting his time on these minions, Marin gets this huge 30 CS lead at 7 minutes 43 seconds. This is just incredibly massive, and for given how weak Darius can be, it's just not going to work out well for him. Marin puts down a ward for himself just to watch for Clearlove coming on in, and now we see, because of how this set up, Marin now has a full level lead. He's 7 to Amazing J, who just turned 6, and it's going really brutal for him. So now he can go ahead and back. Amazing J is going to try and freeze the lane fairly deep, while SK Telecom's bottom lane is just keeping up in the pushing war with EDGs. We see the blue buff leash here. Marin is going to go take a jungle camp right now. Amazing J is able to do some catching up right now with the slow push he's got. Marin doesn't have another ward right now. He's got a deep ward to kind of watch for. Clearlove, he comes on in. Alright, okay, blue is leashed off. Nothing for me to take here. Let's go back on up. And now Amazing J has his farm wave, and he's going to back right now to get his item, and Marin is going to pick up all this CS. So Amazing J does catch up, but you have to consider that there's like about maybe 2 waves, a wave and a half here of minions that isn't the most recently spawned minions. So when Marin goes about picking all this stuff up, it's just going to keep on building up a lead for him, and he's going to freeze it by his tower again, so that once again, not to say again too much, Amazing J is forced to just commit, overextend. Now Bengi really isn't playing to the top side a whole lot. Clearlove is trying to play the bottom side. Bengi's just kind of chilling in the mid lane, waiting for a play to happen. But this is just a massive lead for SK Telecom that shows really good adaptation from them. They immediately make up for lost time by quickly going for a tower push, getting their top laner ahead, which is important because Marin is playing this top lane anti-bruiser, I guess we can say, that it's supposed to just steamroll over Amazing J and completely nullify his Darius. So it's ultimately just a really good play from SK Telecom T1 in this lane swap, and I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention the same way that Dr. Papa did for me. So thank you so much, Alejandre, for giving me like this opportunity to kind of just work with you on this one, for getting me to relook at this lane swap. It's a very good job by SK Telecom. Really shows some of the microplay that this team is capable of. So thank you guys for watching this. CD Mangaka signing out.